Good morning, everybody. I hope you had a fantastic sleep and your Monday is getting off to a good start. I wanted to inform you of a few more details of the detox that I have launching next week. So Tuesday, March 19th is when this is launching. It's a 2-week detox, and I would walk you through the entire 2 weeks. Hello, Steve. I'm just going to hop right into it. Basically, from where we left off yesterday, if you did end up watching that video for some weird reason, and I'm noticing it's happening again today, Facebook doesn't allow you to end the video. So that's why there was a little bit of weird me clicking around at the end trying to find the end now button, but for some reason or another, it has disappeared, and I'm just noticing it's disappeared again. So anyways, Facebook, please fix that. I'm just going to hop right into what we were talking about yesterday, and it was basically your why. So when you start something like an online detox or any sort of online program, you need accountability. So that's me. I'm your accountability partner. And of course, you need to be accountable to yourself, right? Also, you need to figure out why you're doing this detox, for instance, how you want to feel, so visualizing how you want to feel, visualizing how perhaps you want to look, and then, of course, that magic question, what would become possible if you actually followed through on a 2-week detox and made it to the end? Because I know a lot of us, there's a lot of distraction. It's hard for us to focus these days because we've got cell phones, we've got, responsibilities at home, children, spouses, TV, all these different mediums coming at us, and we split our focus on all these different things and don't give one thing its proper attention. So my challenge to you is to stick to this 2-week detox and actually follow through and finish something. So that would be pretty cool to see at the end of the 2 weeks, right? So if you are interested in doing this detox, it could be for a variety of different reasons. Perhaps you just want to lose weight, and that's as simple as it is. You've tried everything out there. You've done paleo, you've done keto, you've done vegan, I don't know, whatever it is, and nothing is working. Okay, fair enough. It could be so that you walk into a room and you feel completely vibrant. It could be to be at the top of your game at work, and you just want to have more energy. It could be simply just to wanting to hang out with your grandchildren and be able to move a little bit more swifter, not have joint pain, and be able to get down to their level. So whatever your why is going to be completely unique and personal to you. So I'm just going to drop that pebble in the pond for you, and I would love for you to think of this detox as a ripple effect. It's the first step for you to invest in your health and regain the rest of your life and anything that you've been missing out on. Because we all know when we're not feeling good in our bodies, we typically miss out on things. We maybe don't want to attend different social events because we're embarrassed about the way that we look or feel, which is kind of hilarious because everybody else is in the same boat. So you think that they're looking at you, but really they're worried about how they look and how they feel. And so it's just like this perpetual cycle of everybody worrying about what everybody else thinks when it's not the case. So anyways, getting back to the whole detox, I do offer, it's a 90-day program. It is a one-on-one coaching type program where we do look at habit change. So if you did do the detox and you wanted a little bit more afterwards, I do offer a 90-day program where we would really dive deep and figure out habits that you've developed or imprints that you've developed as a young girl or boy. And we would change those habits. We would empower you to advocate for your own well-being, and then if you were interested in something like this after the 2-week detox, I'd be happy to hop on the phone with you to continue this journey of habit change. Really, at the end of the day, it's just taking those 21 days to change a habit. So taking the time to really dive deep into why you do what you do. Why do you need to have something sweet after lunch and after dinner? Was that a habit that you developed as a child, where you were rewarded from your dad when you ate, your lunch or your dinner? Been, ingrained into you, where you don't feel good until you have that sweetness after lunch and dinner, because you feel it's almost like it's a reward, right, for eating your lunch and your dinner. Because as a kid, you might not have been the best eater. Maybe you were a picky eater, and that was the only way that they could get you to eat, is if they offered a sweet treat after your meal. Something to look at, right? But getting into more of the scientific, and I'm just really gonna rein the scientific definition of why we should detox. It's basically a pathway to release any toxins from your cells that are kicking around that probably should not be there, and then also to reduce any excess bloating from your tissues. It's basically designed to reset your digestive system and renew your well-being. And the cool thing about this detox is what I really have learned in the last 7 months is that you really learn how food affects the way that you feel, and you're attuning into your body's unique needs to activate your own natural healing potential, which is pretty cool. I do believe that as human beings, we do have the ability. Hi, Elaine, thank you for joining. As human beings, we do have the ability to heal our own bodies, and if we tap into that, then it's even better. We don't need to have these outside sources. Obviously, supplementation does help because our soil sucks, and then that's just above and beyond of what we're doing with food. But if we can't absorb those nutrients, then what's the friggin' point, right? So we got to get the digestive system back to a place where we don't have leaky gut and where we can actually absorb all the goodness that we are putting into our bodies. So this is an opportunity for you to reduce the amount of stimulants that your body is coming into contact with, right? So basically, you're paving the way to discover an ideal way of eating that works for you, that works for your lifestyle, and that works for your goals. Not everybody should be vegan, not everyone should be paleo, not everyone should be gluten-free, dairy-free. I do want to drive that home, that everybody is unique, and you need to figure out what works for you. So it's an invitation for you to become more mindful, right? Build awareness and tap into consistent self-care practices. So with this detox, yes, most of it is about food, but I will say that there are a few portions that do deal with mindset, and I do love meditation. So there will be a little bit of meditation in this program, which is pretty cool. So why should we detox? This is the perfect opportunity for you to detox, it being spring. Spring is quickly approaching, and we've just had daylight savings. So I figured this would be a great time for you guys to hop in. Some of you are probably on March break right now, which is completely fine. But maybe after March break, you want to consider hopping in and getting rid of any sugar cravings or any indulgences that you might have had over March break, because I know some of us tend to let loose when it is some sort of a holiday. Maybe you went away, or you are going away this week, or you are away right now, and you're in an all-inclusive resort, and you are indulging above and beyond of what you normally eat. So this would be a nice way to hop back into somewhat of a routine and detox any of that, let's go with alcohol or sugar, out of your system. So once a quarter, I do believe in detoxing, because as human beings, we do get overloaded with toxins from different foods that we eat, the water that we drink, if we're not using a filter, the air that we breathe, especially if you live in Toronto, especially in a condo or near the gardener. You are going to ingest all of those toxic fumes. And then, of course, stress. Stress is something that basically makes us hold on to these detox. So, makes us hold on to these toxins. I think I said detox. Too many things going on at once. But we are designed to be similar to a self-cleaning oven, where we're detoxing on a daily basis. So this is just my detox that I'm offering is a nice opportunity for you to just take out the foods that are burdening your liver, burdening your organs, that are making them work harder. So it's allowing your system to rest and digest and just chill out for 2 weeks. So that's what this is all about. And just to let you know, when we are stressed, when we are overworked, the body cannot always handle the overload of these toxins that exist in our everyday environment. So they accumulate like anything else. Like, think of paperwork. It's just one on top of the other, on top of the other, and it just keeps building. If you don't slowly chip away at these toxins, they're just going to completely overburden your system, and then which leads to things like, unfortunately, disease, right? I say this because when we cannot accurately eliminate these toxins, they actually build up in our fat cells, which makes it so hard to lose weight. And I say this, when we're under stress, the fat cells actually release these toxins into the bloodstreams, our bloodstream, which causes them to sort of freely float around, which unfortunately leads to things like leaky gut. I'm sure you've heard of leaky gut. So a nice, healthy gut would look something like this, right? When we hit it with alcohol, when we hit it with stress, when we hit it with sugar, when we hit it with foods that we might be intolerant to, this thing called leaky gut happens. So there's these are called tight junctures. They actually start to somewhat separate, if you will, and there's holes in them. So anything good that we put in our body slip through these holes, right? So we're not absorbing all the goodness. Let's say you are a good eater, and you're going, oh my God, I've been eating so well. I exercise and meditate. I still can't lose this 5, 10, 15 pounds, whatever it is. So more than likely you have something called leaky gut. When we do have a leaky gut, the toxins are able to freely flow around. So we might have foggy brain, food intolerances, headaches, maybe you're constipated. And I do want to drive this home. If you are going to the washroom once every 3 days, for instance, that is constipation, 100%. You should be going at least once after every meal. So once is great, 2 is, amazing. 3 is spectacular. And that's a day, right? Not every 3 days. So just want to drive that home. And then a big one, our society, you look around, everyone is tired, right? So just looking at things like maybe you do have a few food intolerances that you're unaware of. So this detox really drives home the ability for you to zone in and see what works for your body and what doesn't work for your body. Foods that are associated with food intolerances are, of course, gluten. You've probably seen that in the news, right? Um, Gluten, dairy is another big one. Cow's dairy, we are not meant to be drinking it past the age of 2, right? I'm sure you guys have heard that. And of course, things like eggs. Eggs are really big in our society. Soy, if you are vegan or vegetarian, I know a lot of them eat soy. Caffeine, we're a heavily caffeinated society. We wake up, we want coffee in our veins right away before we even think about having water. And then, of course, the big one, sugar. Sugar is in everything from salad dressings to meat. You wouldn't, because it's a preservative, right? To what else? Obviously, the obvious would be like in candies and cakes and all that kind of stuff. And then, of course, your dried fruits, right? Like those are pure sugar. So when you do eliminate these, I'm going to call them liver loaders, when you do eliminate them and you do avoid them for, a 2-week period, for instance, there's a sense of relief in your body. At the very end of the detox, you will be reintroducing these foods one at a time. But the idea is to see how you feel when you have gluten at every meal. Do you immediately get that bloat? And for some, it could be a delayed process. It could be, I don't know. Hey, Peter, thank you for joining. And hello, Malgorzata. Thanks for joining. So for gluten, even dairy, it could be a delayed reaction, a 48-hour delayed reaction. It could be even 72 hours. I know for myself, full disclosure, I get the runs when I have gluten. When I have dairy, I get constipated. So, but this is something that has taken me many years to figure out. I knew I had an issue with gluten, so I have been avoiding that for many years, and then dairy slowly followed. But lately, I've been following an AIP, an autoimmune protocol, where I've noticed that I'm completely sensitive to grain, so I don't eat any grain whatsoever, which means no gluten, which means also no dairy, no nightshades. Sort of let them slip in a little bit here and there, I'm not going to lie. Full disclosure. What else do I not have? No soy, obviously, very low sugar. And so my diet consists of meat and vegetables and low sugared fruits, so your apples and your berries. I have a lot of plantain chips. That's kind of it. And it's just been working for me. And I know immediately if I go to a restaurant, if they've used soy sauce, my soy sauce has gluten. So I know immediately that, there was soy in that, or they've used flour and they just didn't tell me, or they've used something in the sauce or in the roux or whatever you want to call it. And it's just not agreeing with me. And then I'm in pain for the rest of the evening. So really zoning into how you feel when you eat these foods. So I will say, yes, you are eliminating them for a little bit, but then you get to reintroduce, see how you feel, and then you make the decision. I'm not going to tell you, you got to be gluten-free for the rest of your life. You have to make the decision, if you want to feel good in your body and you know that you're sensitive to gluten, that yes, you probably should eliminate it. So just want to drive home, it's a gentle yet effective approach to support the liver's detoxification pathways. And of course, we're improving intestinal health. We're improving our tummies and our abilities to digest foods properly. And we're also clearing out any excess toxins so that you in 2019 can operate at your highest potential. You're going to recognize that you had all of this energy that you didn't even know that you had, and you'll find that every part of your body is going to work better just by switching on your metabolism and your body's natural healing abilities. So I'm going to leave it at that, and of course the end button is so wacky. Facebook, fix this. I can't find the end button so for the video, but I do really appreciate you guys for hopping on. I didn't intend for this to be 20 minutes, but it is what it is. I do hope you join me. If you do have questions, please message me. I'd be happy to answer them, and then I'll be on tomorrow to give you some more info on this good old detox. All right, hope you're having a good one. Take care. Bye.